Welcome to Chair Yoga for the care of Waldenstroms. I'm here with a whole bunch of fabulous people, rare birds, rare gems. This week is Rare Disease Day on Thursday, so I'm kind of going to go with that theme that we're rare in a good way. So I'm so grateful for all of you who decided to show up to the live class today and share with me the things that you have going on. Some of us are looking for some relaxation techniques, or maybe breathing. Some of us are recovering from various issues, might want to move their lymph fluid, might want to, one person said they're here to engage their T cells, right? So some of us have very specific intentions. And if you're here watching the recording, you may have an intention as well. And you are also part of our wonderful group. So without further ado, let's get rolling. I'm going to start with a little bit of movement right away. So I'm noticing how I'm sitting. I'm just going to make sure my feet are on the earth. And if I felt comfortable doing so, I could sit away from the back of my chair. So I'm doing a little extra work sitting up here. And I'm just going to float both arms up, maybe halfway, and release both arms back down. I'm breathing in and breathing out. I'm just going halfway for now, maybe a little bit more than halfway. Good. So I'm just creating this sphere around myself that's going to slowly grow. Self-care sphere. Breathing in. Breathing out. Maybe we can go up a little higher. Let it float all the way down. And maybe you want to go up all the way, or you could have just one arm going up, one arm going down. I will invite you to take really good care of yourselves today, no matter what you have going on. Do 2 more. Inhale, exhale, and last one. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And then I'm going to move my head and my neck. So I'll come a little closer here. Let's go ahead and just tilt the head from side to side. So I'm going to tilt my right ear to my right shoulder. Come back to center with an inhale. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Breathing into center. Exhale, right. You've got it. Moving at your own pace. Moving from side to side with the breath. And one more like that. Come on back to center and rub those hands together. Learning techniques for relaxation. Sometimes the breath isn't immediately available to us for whatever reason. We can't just get into an easy breath. So I like to do a little bit of massage. And I'm getting my hands nice and warm. And I'm infusing my hands with care and compassion for myself. Sometimes that doesn't come easily. So I'm working extra hard at that today. This is for me. And then I'll go ahead and just come to find a place on the body. It could be the face, right? I like to start with the face. It could be the neck or shoulders. And I'm just going to gently massage any areas where I collect tension. In my face, in my neck, my shoulders. And the kind of rule of thumb here is that I'm moving, the direction is moving back to the heart. Because we might be caring or concerned about lymph fluid and moving lymph fluid. So just getting in there and maybe not only releasing tension, but moving the lymph fluid. And you don't have to touch the body with a lot of resistance or with a lot of force to move the lymph. In fact, a lighter touch near the surface of the skin can be quite effective. As far as what I read and learn from online, however, I am not trained in this. All right, and then while we're here, I want to share a really nice neck stretch. So I'm going to bring my right hands up to massage down towards my collarbone and rest on the top of my collarbone. And then the left hand is going to come on top of that. I'm going to put a little bit of gentle pressure moving down on my collarbone. Right? And then I'm going to go ahead and tilt my right ear to my right shoulder. And I'm spinning my chin and looking up a little bit to the left. So you might feel some muscles being stretched, the front left side of the neck. Breathing in, breathing out. You've got it, and then we're going to switch sides. So between sides, I might just do a little hand movement. Let me know you're out there. Let me know you're listening. I see you, Deborah. So glad you're here, friends. And then I'm going to bring my left hand, slide it down towards my left collarbone. A little bit of light pressure moving down. That right hand can rest on top. Tilting my left ear to my left shoulder. And then spinning my chin up to the right a little bit. Breathing in, breathing out. So good, my friends. And then let's release that, and I'm going to work with the hands for a moment. Just flicking imaginary water off the ends of my fingertips. And I'm going to go really fast as I possibly can go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You got it. Awesome, guys. And now we'll stretch this right arm out to the right and tilt the left ear to the left shoulder. And I'm just going to circle the palm, nice easy circles. And those circles can move down little by little by little. Got my feet on the earth. I'm breathing. Life is good. And then we'll go ahead and bring that hand behind the back, if possible. If not possible, just rest it on the hip. And I'll spin my chin down. I'm peeking at my left shoulder and taking a couple of easy breaths. Letting the tincture of time do the work. And then releasing. When I'm ready, I'll switch. And I'm just going to notice the difference between the sides right now. Notice my right side, notice my left side. And then I'll stretch that left arm out. A lot of yoga is really just about noticing. So tilting that right ear to the right shoulder and circling my palm. Just want to reinforce that yoga is not just about physical postures. It's about being present. That arm can go down little by little, and I'm noticing how this side feels. And eventually I might feel like I could rest the arm behind the back or on the hip. And I'm spinning my chin down, so I'm peeking at my left shoulder. And I'm softening both shoulders as I take a couple of easy breaths. In through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. All right, and then coming out of that, let's open the arms out to the sides and push the heart forward. And you can see from the side, maybe you can see, I'm kind of arching my upper back a little bit. So I'm trying to imagine there's a hand on my upper back or a hand lifting my heart, like my heart is on a platter. And then I'll swing my arms in front, and I'm going to interlace my fingers. And I'm just going to very gently, slightly pull my arms away from my body. So I've created a little bit of space between the shoulders, but I'm not rounding my spine. Inhaling, opening, arching, that heart is on a platter, lifted towards the sky. And then we're interlacing, ever so gently pulling the arms away from the body. Just a little stretch for the upper back. And we can take one more. interlace. Pull the arms away from the body. You got it, Allison. And then I'm going to sit up nice and tall and give myself a hug. One arm on top. Notice which arm is on top. I might tuck my chin and take a couple of easy breaths. I'm here to take care of myself, or whatever your intention is today. And then we'll open the arms and let's do another hug, the opposite arm on top. So it's a nice stretch for the upper back. I could tuck my chin. I could repeat my reason for being here today. All right, and then I'm going to release from there. And then I'm going to bring my hands to my belly. And without a lot of force, just rubbing my hands in a clockwise direction on my belly. This is another way we can move lymph fluid, we can stimulate digestion. It can be a relaxation technique unto itself, as some of us even practice this on its own. Yes, you're nodding your head, yes. And my dad does this. I taught my dad this. You know, lots of, digestive and bowel issues that can happen with various medications we get on. Sometimes things get blocked, blah, blah, blah. You've heard it all before. So this is one thing you can do. Just rubbing the belly. All right, now I'm just going to rest my hands in my lap, and I'm going to close my eyes for a moment, or just shift my gaze, just my gaze down towards the earth. And I'm going to inhale, and I'm going to let my belly be really soft and full. So we're going to practice 5 breaths in a row, letting go of holding the belly. So as we breathe in, maybe the belly expands a little bit like a balloon. And as we breathe out, we might just relax a little bit more. See if you can follow 5 breaths, noticing whatever shape change is evident in the belly. And there might not be much, and that's okay. Very good. Maybe there's one more deep breath you want to take here with me. And you could sigh it out. All right, I'm blinking my eyes open, and I'm going to lean forward in my chair a little bit. My back is straight, although I do have natural curves in my back. I'm having a nice flat back here, so I'm not rounding my back. I'm just leaning forward in my chair. And I've got my hands resting in my lap, and I'm going to create some stretch for my jaw and for my neck by opening my mouth. And I'm even going to stick my tongue out, and I'll make a few little ha sounds like a lion roaring for lion's pose. Soften the shoulders. And one more. All right. It feels so good to do that sometimes. And if your mouth dries out easily doing that, you can take a sip. And now I'm going to just bring my hands to my rib cage. I just kind of notice this part of my body. Bringing my hands to my rib cage. And just leave that right hand on the right rib cage. And we're going to tilt over, lean over to the left a little bit. And see if we can feel the rib cage move while we breathe. Might not be a lot, could be a little bit. Good. You could stay like this, or you could lift that right arm up and over. So we're still side bending, and I might be able to feel that rib cage lifting, like a wing lifting up. And then we're relaxing back to center, and we'll try that on the other side. So left hand coming to the left rib cage, leaning over to the right side a little bit. See if I could feel my breath with my hand in my rib cage. And then I might lift my left arm up if that would feel okay for me, and big breath, big stretch, and relaxing back to center. So let's try a few more of those. Got my feet on the earth. I'm sitting away from the back of my chair, and I'm just bending from side to side. If it would feel more stabilizing, I could bring some space between my feet, widen out my stance. And I just I adore this stretch because it's not a way that I typically move in my daily routine. So I've got to really pay attention to making sure all these little muscles between the ribs get some attention, because they are responsible for 25% of your respiratory effort. And then, of course, we know the diaphragm is the major muscle involved in breathing. So when we did that belly breathing, we were really using the diaphragm. Last one. All right, and with that nice wide stance, I'm going to bring my arms out to the sides like a cactus. Cactus squeezes. All right, this is for you, Catherine. I'm going to bring my elbows back, squeeze my shoulder blades together, and then let's press the forearms and the palms together with some resistance, some strength. Inhale, open, squeeze the shoulder blades. Exhale, close, a little bit of a press. And let's do one more. Inhale and exhale. Beautiful. And this time I'm going to open and I'm going to twist my whole body to the right. Not my whole body, really, it's just my upper body. Come back to center. See what it means for you to twist authentically using your own muscles in the core, twisting from side to side. Maybe you want to inhale to center, exhale to the other side. We'll do one more on each side. Always easier to breathe out as I twist. All right, and then I'm coming back to center and I'm giving myself yet another hug. Tucking my chin, finding an easy breath. Good, and then we'll release out of here. And if there are any other upper body movements that your body's asking for, like some neck rolls or anything, shoulder rolls, you can go ahead and do that. And let me just move to a farther away seat. Okay, so lots of space between the feet now. And I'm going to pick up my heels and pick up my toes in this wider stance. So I got a nice wide stance, and I'm rocking the feet. And I'm also kind of holding myself in this externally rotated open posture for my hips. Right, so I'm getting a little bit of opening there. And very slowly, very gradually, I'm going to walk my feet, lifting the toes, lifting the heels, back to center. Walking my feet back to center. All right, grabbing onto my chair, I'm going to lift my right leg up like I'm stepping over a hurdle and bring it out to the side. Left leg up and over, and then we're walking back in. So feeling that stability through the core. And sometimes I find that with yoga, less is more, right? That the slower I go, I'm really getting a lot out of it. I'm having to work in some ways harder when I go slower. So I might do one more set of walking out and walking in. You got it. And then I'm going to stretch my right leg out. I'm holding that right leg up, juicing everything up, taking one big breath, and then releasing the leg back down. Lifting the left leg. Let's make it a nice squeeze. And releasing down. We'll do one more on each side. Just lifting the right leg. and then lifting the left leg. All right. Stretch that right leg out and put the heel on the earth. I'm going to point and flex, so I'm doing some foot pumps with the right foot. Seeing if I can bring my toes down to the earth and then pulling the toes back towards the face. You might feel this in the calf or the shin, or both. And then I'm going to switch it up, left leg out, heel on the earth. Of course, anything I'm doing here, you can modify it and make it more comfortable for yourself. We're not here to push through discomfort or pain. Pumping the left foot up and down. All right, and then I'm going to relax for a moment. Take my hands into my lap. Close my eyes or soften my gaze. And take 5 breaths before I transition to a standing posture, if that is what is in the cards for me today. So I'm taking 5 easy breaths in a row. Observing the breath come in and out. Noticing where I sense the change in my shape from the breath. Could be my belly or my ribs or my chest. Even the back of my body. All right, and in my mind's eye, I'm just going to picture myself coming to stand, if that's what I'm doing. And I'm going to take my time coming to stand, maybe creating a little momentum, nose over knees. My gaze is where I want to go, not at the floor. I don't want to go down, I want to go up. So I'm going to slowly and gradually come to stand. You might notice you're using your glute muscles to do that. So take a moment to kind of reset yourself if you've decided to come to stand. Lots of thirsty folks today. And we're going to work with the feet, work with the toes. One of my favorite things to do. And just working with the feet, working with the lower limbs can be grounding for those of us who tend towards anxiety or feeling scattered. So then we might have a moment where we feel anxious and we're not somebody who tends towards that. This could be a technique. So let's go ahead and try to lift all 10 toes up off the earth and spread them wide and dig them back down. So just lifting the toes, spreading them, digging them down. And maybe some of the toes move, maybe others don't. That's okay. Just working the toes, wiggling the toes, and now just wiggling the toes like crazy. Seeing what you can do with the toes. Take a peek down. Notice which toes don't move. Send them a little love. And then let's come up onto the tiptoes. I'm going to grab onto my chair, slowly rise up, and slowly float down. You might want to stay holding onto the chair the whole time. Some of us have thrown down a challenge. I'm going to do this every day as I brush my teeth. And you guys, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing this while I brush my teeth in the morning. So maybe you feel comfortable, confident enough today to lift one arm out. Maybe it's both arms, or maybe you switch which arm is lifting. And now we are practicing in our flock of rare birds. Floating our way up, breathing in, exhaling our way down. Right? Hold on to something if you need it. Let's do 3 more to whatever degree feels good to you. Really nice. And I'm going to see if I can glide down really smoothly on this last one. All right, wonderful. I'm going to bend my knees and bring my hips back a little bit. I'm going to pull my belly towards my spine, right? So I'm integrated in my core, and I'm going to push my feet apart without moving them. So you might feel your glute muscles really turn on here. Now an option here, some of us may or may not want this, you can just lift the arms straight out in front with the palms facing each other. Sometimes I feel a little bit like Frankenstein when I do this. Pushing, pushing, pushing those feet apart. You can feel how strong you are. We'll take one breath. We're just doing a nice static hold of this. And then let's go ahead. Good job, Carol. Take the hands to the back of the chair and take some steps away from the chair for a stretch called down dog. But it's more than a stretch. So I'm going to keep my head lifted if I have glaucoma or vertigo. As I'm stretching the back of my legs, I am also strengthening, or I'm also trying to engage the front of my legs. So I'm lifting my kneecaps. And you can notice that there are two different things happening here on the side of your leg, the front of your leg and the back of your leg. Finding the breath. One more big breath. And then we're slowly making our way up and deciding, do I feel like marching in place? Or do I need to just stand still in a mountain pose? Either one would be great, right? So you might be in mountain pose, just standing nice and tall, or you might be marching in place. You might be doing something completely else. That's all good. And I'm going to start to slow my marching down so that I'm standing on one leg a little bit longer. So this helps with my balance. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Swinging both arms up and bringing the hands to heart center. Let's do a few of these. Inhale, arms rising out and up. Exhale, hands to heart center. I'm reaching up. I'm grabbing a little slice of what it is I need today, bringing it into my heart center. You might want to add a little chair movement. So we're inhaling, arms out and up. As we exhale, we're sinking down into that chair pose, knees bent. Breathing in, straightening. Breathing out, sinking, weight is back. And we'll do one more inhale. Exhale, you can always go to faster or slower pace than I am. All right, and now I'm coming up and I'm going to interlace my fingers. Give my hands a little massage. You've got it. And then we're pressing the palms away, juicing up the finger joints, and making a nice wrist roll movement. You got it. Then I'll take my hands back to heart center, and I'm just going to tip my hands from side to side. So I'm pressing into one and then the other. Right, seeing if I could kind of give my wrists a good stretch. That's good. You got it. And then shaking it out. And then let's go ahead and step into our classic pose, Warrior One. So I'm going to step my right foot forward and bring my left foot back at a little angle. My hips are kind of sort of facing my chair here. And I'm going to bend into my right knee. I'm squeezing my left glute muscle so my hips are stabilized, pulling my belly towards my spine. My torso is coming from leaning forward to upright, right? So my torso is upright. That's good. And I might feel like circling this left arm up and over a few times, like I'm bowling a bowling ball, letting go of that bowling ball. So strong through both legs. Good, maybe one more Left arm up and over, you got it. And then let's go ahead and shorten our stances. So we still have the right foot forward, left foot back. And I'm going to lift my right kneecap, my left kneecap, so both legs are strong as I take a little forward fold. So we can see these muscles are opposing each other, working in concert. I'm stretching the back of my leg and the front of my leg is engaged. Pulling my belly towards my spine. I could tuck my chin. Right, if I feel like I have a little farther to travel, I might bring my hands onto my seat. Right, but I'm not going to force it. I'm going to do what feels best for me. Can you find one easy breath here? All right, walk yourself up. Left foot forward. Right foot back. Nice wide stance, right? So I've walked the left foot to the left. And I'm going to bend into my left knee, squeeze that right glute, and my torso is nice and upright. You've got it. Circling the right arm up and over if that would feel good. Throwing that bowling ball. Maybe you would rather have the hands at heart center. That's also an option. I'm looking for a nice stretch for the front of my left hip. I mean right hip. Maybe one more. All right, feels so good. And then let's shorten the stance. Both legs are straight and strong. By that I mean they're engaged and lifting my kneecaps. And then I'll pour my whole upper body forward. Could rest my hands or my forearms on my chair or my fingertips on my seat. Do whatever you need to do to make yourself feel more comfortable here. Maybe you could take a few easy breaths. And I'm trying to keep my spine fairly straight, so I'm not rounding my back. I'm avoiding rounding my back. And we're going to talk so much more about this on Thursday in our Yoga for Stronger Bones webinar. Come on up nice and slow. And maybe you want to walk it out. Maybe you want to stand in mountain pose. Options. We got options. Maybe there's a fun little movement you've got in your body today. Maybe you want to sashay. Maybe you want to let your arms swing. Okay, I'm coming to stand with a wide stance, and I'm going to take a few hip circles here. Circling in one direction. Right, maybe you want to do a torso circle if you're seated. Moving in the opposite direction. And while I'm here, I might as well do another set of side bends. And you can notice the difference between a standing and a seated side bend. Feels like a lot more length is happening for me. Now, when I lift this right arm up and over, can you let the left arm be really dangly? And same's true of the other side. When you lift that arm up and over, let the opposite shoulder be loose. And you might want to do one more on each side like that. Nice and loose on the opposite shoulder. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and rub my hands together, once again infusing my hands with compassion, with kindness. And I'm just going to take these fists and rub them up and down the lower back, along the length of the spine. I might want to keep my fists here and see if I could squeeze my elbows together. I have a narrower stance, so I've got my feet are about hips width distance apart. And I'm kind of squeezing my glute muscles here as I lift my heart and lean back just a little bit. So again, I'm arching my back. If I have neck issues, I might not lift my chin. I might keep my chin level with the earth, right? If I felt okay doing so, I could lift my chin. So just a little standing camel pose. You got it. That's beautiful. And then coming back to center, releasing. And let's take one more standing posture. So I'm going to come into a balance pose. Let's bring the weight into the right foot, pick up the left heel, and pick that leg up off the earth if that would feel okay. See if you can zip everything up, like really lifting. And that includes the glute muscles. And I might want to keep my hand on the chair. I might feel comfortable bringing my hands to heart center. And I'm going to relax a little bit into the wobble. I'm going to let that wobble show up. Be a bamboo, piece of bamboo in the wind, right? Bending but not breaking. Maybe you could take one more breath. And then let's switch it up. I'm just kicking out that right leg between sides. And then I'll bring the weight over to my left leg. Pick up my right heel. I could keep my toe on the ground, that's an option, or I might lift it up, zip it up. Working towards taking my hands to heart center. Maybe it's just for a millisecond. Right? And the chair's there if I need it. If I fall out of it, I get gold stars. Because that's the area where we find we can improve. And then when you're ready to release that, walk it out, dance it out, take another sip of water, pet the cat, whatever you got to do before you come to sit. And when you're ready to come to sit, can you make it an exercise? Can you make it yoga with the breath? When you're ready to come to sit, can you make it yoga? So I might make it yoga by bringing my hands to heart center and slowly moving down and finding my breath. Good. So we've come to sit. All right, Gordon, you win the prize for last one seated. Thanks so much, Renee. I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left knee, maybe. So see how this feels for you. Make any changes you need to. I'm going to massage the bottom of my right foot or my calf or my shin, whatever's available. And if you get to this pose and you feel like you can't really stay in it comfortably, then don't. And that goes for any of you who feel like you have to round the spine in order to be here. I'd much rather see a nice tall spine at all times, of course. I'm reaching my heart forward. I'm going to lean forward just a little bit. Letting go of my shoulders, of my jaw. Taking a few breaths here in this hip stretch. Sometimes we call it figure 4. And then when you're ready, come on and sit up. We'll cross that knee over. So I've got my right knee on top of my left. And again, really important that I have a tall spine for this twist. So I don't want to be rounded as I twist. I'm going to slowly, using all of my own core muscles, twist my body to the right. And then I might bring my hands in support of that twist. So they're resting on my chair, on my leg, peeking over my right shoulder. As I breathe in, I get taller. As I breathe out, I might twist a little deeper, twisting authentically from my core. And slowly recoiling back to center. Let's switch it. So left ankle over the right knee, giving myself a little massage wherever is available. Right, I can choose to skip anything at any time if this isn't for me. And then when I'm ready, I might go ahead and grab on to my shin and lean forward, right? Maybe I don't have to lean forward to get that amount of sensation that's right for me. So if I'm leaning forward, I'm trying to stay away from a rounded upper back. And I'm taking care of my neck with a little chin tuck. Finding some easy breaths. You got it. Oh, I needed that. Coming to sit, crossing that left knee over the right. I'm thinking of myself as like a corkscrew. So I'm going to stay nice and tall and then do my twist on my exhalation, twisting to the left. Maybe I can corkscrew a little bit farther to the left, but I'm not going to force it. And you can even hug the legs together as another engagement that can deepen your twist from a stable place. And then relaxing back to center. Any other movements the body's asking for, maybe you want to hug one knee in, hug the other knee in. Maybe you want to take one more big stretch. And then it's your choice, my friends, whether you would like to stay seated or, in fact, if you have a comfortable place to recline in your room, you could actually get down onto the floor or onto the couch or even onto the bed. So I'm going to share just a little bit of my singing bowls with you. If you have to get going, of course, you can always do that. And I'm going to do a little test here. Can you hear this bowl? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, fabulous. Okay, so you're getting yourself comfy, whether that's reclining or sitting. And you're going to notice all the parts of the body that are touching the support. Take a big breath in. And let go into that support. Maybe you're closing your eyes. Maybe you added a layer like a blanket. That would be great. And we're taking a moment to do nothing. And by doing nothing, we're actually doing quite a lot of something. Integrating, giving ourselves an opportunity to slow down, seeing if you could just follow the thread of the breath, traveling in and out. Through the nose, out through the nose or mouth. Letting the belly be soft and full. Noticing where you can feel the breath. Chest. like to rest a hand on the heart, a hand on the belly, or you could stay right where you are. And we're just going to do 5 rounds of bees breath. Right? This could help if you're experiencing blockages in the upper body, in the ear canals and the sinuses. So let's try just humming. Taking your hands together at heart center with your feet on the earth, coming up to sit if you've been reclining, or staying reclining if you really need to remain resting. You could close the eyes and just widen out your awareness to all of this community of friends all over the world that we've created, that we are creating day by day. And as you breathe in, you can breathe in support, receiving support from your friends. And as you breathe out, you could send support. We're receiving, we're sending, we're connected. I'll close our class today with the sound of 1 Om and 3 Shantis for peace. Shanti means peace. You can listen, you can join me, you can make some other sounds. Breathing in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. And thanking you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste. I hope to see you soon, maybe in our Thursday webinar. Reach out if you have any questions at all. AnnGrace@iwmf.com.